Hi friends, Simit here from InformedTrades.com. Today is February 4th, 2014. Time for our daily Forex chart review. Basically, for those of you who are new to this session, each morning at around 8 a.m. New York time or at 1 p.m. GMT, sometimes it starts a few minutes late. I look at the charts in the Forex market, the daily charts for 20-some currency pairs, and I share my take on them, as well as the actions I'm taking in the market. Okay, as is customary, I like to start by looking at the charts that of trades that I currently have on in the market, um, and that brings me to a New Zealand dollar, U.S. dollar. So I'm long Kiwi U.S. dollar. Now I came literally, I mean, this must be within 1 pip of getting my stop hit. Incredibly close. My stop, the stop's at the red line, and you see the candle came all the way down here. Just barely missed it. So I got a little lucky, or price worked in my favor that time. Stop did not get hit. Um, and now we have what's basically a morning star pattern. Big long candle, small candle, and now like a U-shaped type thing. Morning star-ish. You may want to see if you look at the red candle, that middle candle, the long wick is going up. I guess in a truly nice morning star, you'd want to see the long wick down, so it's almost like a tuning fork. Um, but in any event, I view this as a nice bullish signal. Um, I'm not yet going to move my stop to, well, okay, that's one level. Yeah, I think I will. Let's actually look at the 4-hour chart. I'm debating whether it's an opportune time for me to move my stop to break even here, and whether that would be a little premature. So I could, in theory, move it up to here, which would actually be in the money. Yeah, I think I'm going to move my stop to break even. Um, Makes we've had a big candle up, right? My stop is at the bottom of that candle. I'd be a little surprised if we gave that right back. Um, and I think you could argue, well, you know what, I'll wait till today's candle closes. Let's see how today's candle closes. So right now, I'm not going to move my stop just yet. Let's see how today's candle closes. So possibly tomorrow morning, I'll be able to move my stop to break even. We'll see. Okay. Another trade I have on is Aussie N. Okay, and this is, I'm short this pair, and my stop is at break even. My stop is here. Now this price action will basically have a bullish engulfing candle after, so I took, at this green line, half my position was taken off. So I booked some profit here. The remaining is targeting this level. Now we do have a bullish engulfing candle, which isn't the most encouraging sign for my short position. When my stop is at break even, I'm just going to wait it out. It may come back into my stop. That's fine. I do need to hold out for 4 trades at a moment. Okay, moving on to the next pair. Um, Sorry about that. Just had a little bit of interruption here. On the next pair, let's go back to Euro, Aussie. In just 1 second. Hello? Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. Just had a little bit of an interruption here. Okay, I am back now. Um, Euro Aussie, uh, yeah, big move down here. So this could be an interesting long opportunity that's shaping up. However, I mentioned Euro is something I'm watching, keeping an eye out for this week, because we have been pulling back as the chart shows after reaching the high on Euro Aussie 158. We are pulling back. Um, However, let's see if we can find a support. I definitely don't want to enter on this big red candle here. Euro Canada. Oh, well, this is interesting. Hmm. I think I would prefer for a move back to the black line. Let's see what else is going on with Euro Canada. Let's also see if there's any other. Let's draw Fibonacci here as well. This is potentially interesting. Fibonacci from here, this swing low to this swing high. Yeah, it'd be much better to wait, see if we can follow this black line. That's where the confluence really kicks in. And if price can take its time falling here, we might have the 50 moving average also meeting us there. That we are at a price channel here is of some interest, but I really want to see it fall to the support level, 48.10. Okay. Euro pound. Okay. Now, really nice reversal candlestick pattern here at that support level that we identified. Broke out of the channel. Is this a good short opportunity? Possibly. So let's come back to Euro pound. Keep that in mind. We can come back to this. I'm writing this down, jotting down as something to keep an eye out for. It is a nice reverse candlestick, respecting the 50-day moving average. Let's see if we can come back down. Euro yen. Okay, now yen has been rallying quite a bit, and that has gotten quite a bit of interest in the markets. Now, now the trend seems, and I've lost a bunch on. Right now, I've got a short Aussie yen position on, and I've lost a bunch of money on, or lost some trades at a sequence of losing trades. Of course, my risk is managed well. Um, so I've lost. So I'm at this point, I'm not inclined to short or go short the yen basically. So all these long, if anything, I'm more inclined to go long the yen. So short this on a pullback. I'm actually going to remove my Fibonacci. Um, I think that's the clear. We're now below the 50 moving average. I think that's the sign to watch. Use that as the buy sell line. Remove this trend line. So in any event, I don't want to short the end. Let's see if this gives us a pullback. We do get a pullback, and that we can rally from there. Get a pullback and then start heading down. We need to see a pattern of higher lows in place, which we sort of have, but not really here. I mean, you see the beginning of a downtrend here, but I still view this as more of a buy the dip rather than the start of a new trend. What's important, though, is we're below the 50 simple moving average. I do think that's somewhat noteworthy. Euro New Zealand. Okay, big red candle down, but we're still in the middle of this range, so no real opportunity from my vantage point. Moving on to Euro US dollar. Okay, so we had talked about going long yesterday, Euro US dollar, and that may still be something that I'm interested in. One thing I'm a little concerned about is we had talked about going short euro pound. Now we're talking about going long euro US dollar. Um, let's see. We'll come back to these. I'm jotting both these down. It may be neither. But this is price action. Basically, we've had a pullback. We're now hitting this trend line. This is also a horizontal support. Let's see. We are below the 50 simple moving average, and we do have a pattern of higher or lower highs in place. So I find the price action a little confusing here. Let's see. Euro pound might be the easiest way to trade this, or the safest way. Um, But as I mentioned, if the signal isn't clear across the board, you know, if there's a reason to not take the trade, then I generally won't. That's a important thing, I think, to look for reasons to not take the trade. Okay, pound Aussie. Going long Australian dollar might be something I'm interested in, at least relative to the euro and the, or excuse me, going long euro and pound relative to the Australian dollar is something I might be interested in, but not on this big red candle. So let's see if we can, we're now at that 50 simple moving average. Let's see if price can stabilize and form support. I think you can make a case that there's a support level here, right? But let's see. I'd like to see that strengthen, and if it does, then that could be our entry cue to go long pound Aussie. As for pound Canada, okay. Now this is much better than the euro Canada. So at this point, I'm much more inclined to go long pound, pound Aussie and pound Canada than euro Aussie, euro Canada. Now, the question is, okay, I still want to wait on this. So we've had a number of red candles. Let's actually draw our Fibonacci. And we can do it from this swing low here. Okay, so we're closing in. I still want to wait a little bit. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 candles. In this scenario, you know, the support level is not 100% convincing, so I really want to see a trading range. That'll give me some confidence. Basically a trading range. It shows, you know, accumulation. Buyers are coming in. If we don't have that, then, you know, if the candlesticks aren't confirming, we don't have that trading range, I'd rather just pass. Right now, we have 4 red candles in a row. Pound Swiss. Okay. That's interesting. Well, it's a good thing I deleted. Huge move down yesterday. Wow, look at this. That is we went from what, 48.78 all the way down to, so 230 pips, 240 pips basically. Huge move down in pound Swiss yesterday. We might be finding our support here, but this is too volatile at this point. Let me remove some of these lines. We're now below the 50 simple moving average here. Well, I think this line is worth keeping on, because the major price really responded here, even responded here. So this might be a short opportunity, if anything, right? We have had enough higher lows, and we are now below the 50 simple moving average. But it's still not that convincing to me. We still also have had enough higher lows. I mean, this channel actually might be something. But in any event, I don't think this is one major level. Perhaps trade around this. I think ultimately there's some evidence for shorting, but I think ultimately there's a bit of a channel going on. Actually, draw that. Well, this is not the best of channels. It's a little, it's huge for one, but there we go. Yeah, it's not. This is a little. There's going to be better opportunities. Pound Swiss is so volatile. The price action I'm finding a little choppier than I would prefer. There is this interesting channel of sorts, tentative channel. I would like to see it confirmed on the bottom side once more. But in any event, I think it's going to be better pairs, at least with this price action, than pound Swiss. I'm going to pass on pound Swiss. And that fits into what I mentioned earlier, where if the analysis isn't, if you're not strong enough and confident enough right away, it's best to pass. Pound yen, nothing at this point. Like I mentioned, I'm a little reluctant to short the yen, which would mean go long pound yen or Aussie yen or any of those, because I've had a number of losing trades on that recently, and it seems like the yen is rallying in the face of the taper. So fundamentally, that is something I'm kind of considering. We're also below the 50 simple moving average. I am trying to definitely in these sessions and with my Forex trading keep it very, very technical. There may be some long-term factors that give me a sense of bearishness on the yen or some trades in general. But for the most part, I'm looking at the daily chart and I'm making decisions technically. And in that regard, we are below the 50 simple moving average. I don't always think that's significant, but in this instance, I do. It does introduce some doubt, and that's enough to pass the trade. Pound Kiwi. Oh, well, we had talked about this, and I thought, maybe it'd be a good opportunity to short pound Kiwi. We did have a big red candle now. I don't I don't really regret not shorting it. I think my analysis was sound. I did mention that when I would view it as a counter trend trade, and I am getting ready to add that to my skill set or try that with these sessions. But at this point, I still want to spend a little more time watching trades, thinking about those opportunities before I actually do it. It's going to be interesting to see where this stops. So that's also, with trend trading, I know I'm much more confident in getting a larger reward. With counter trend, I think there may be a need to be careful with how much reward you're really expecting. But in any event, as well as managing the stop. In any event, pound Kiwi is heading down after touching the top of this trend line, so it's kind of interesting from a technical analysis perspective. I'm not in this trade. I have no interest in being in it. There might be an opportunity somewhere to buy the dip here. Maybe actually draw Fibonacci within this swing low, swing high, and then we can add a support level right here, maybe. Okay, I think this would be potentially interesting. That's not a very convincing support level. At this point, I would like to see a trading range, perhaps. We'll see. This is another choppy chart of sorts. I meant to change the color of this line here. Black, thinner, dash. I'm not entirely convinced about this line and the price action on this in general. Pound Swiss and pound Kiwi, they're really choppy, so that's just I'm not 100% sure on that price action. I'm gonna pass. Pound US. Okay, now this is interesting. And we had talked about going long euro dollar, and I really like this pound dollar setup. And it's worth mentioning that I am long New Zealand US dollar, right? Like I mentioned earlier, I'm possibly getting ready to move to break even on that. But this is interesting. A doji basically at support on a pullback right near the 50 simple moving average. We'll come back to this. And I've also got euro pound and euro dollar as something we'll come back to. So it looks like there's an opportunity. I really like to see the same being confirmed on the same currency. So euro dollar and pound dollar are both giving me that bullish feeling. We'll come back to it. A bullish sign, I should say. Okay, that's Pound dollar, well, like I mentioned, we'll return to that at the end of this video. Or dollar Canada. Still got a long ways to go. So Canadian dollar now is definitely turning, definitely rallying, except for the Canada yen against the yen, which is the one, unfortunately, the currency I traded against. We got that position stopped out yesterday. But at this point, still waiting. 109.04 is the earliest I can, which is still 170 pips away. Now here, so nothing yet on dollar Canada, but dollar yen. This is something I'm finding really interesting. Okay, so now we had talked about this on euro yen and pound yen, where it's pulled back to a number of levels I identified earlier at the 50% moving average. At the 50% Fibonacci retracement level, which is also a support level. I'm still a little unsure here. Now we're below the 50% moving average, which isn't always the huge deal, but I would like to see a trading range form. If we can get that trading range, might be interested in going long dollar yen here. We'll see. Okay, so now time for the Canadian dollar. Canada Swiss. This is, well, Canada's still rallying. If we can get a little closer, we're getting closer for sure. And let me actually extend this channel. Yeah, so we are now at the top, retesting that channel, which may be enough for some people. However, I would like to see more evidence. At least 82.30. I'd really like to see price go to 82.30, potentially short from there. So nothing yet on Canada Swiss. Canada yen. I got stopped out on this yesterday, unfortunately. But then it rallied. So this one, actually similar to Kiwi dollar, basically just hit my stop and then started rallying. That gives me a little more confidence in the idea of going long dollar yen and euro yen. However, not quite yet. I'm still a little unsure. If we can, and price is now distinctly below the 50 and the 200. So I think the momentum is kind of bearish on Canada yen. Which something I ignored that in placing that initial trade. Perhaps I shouldn't have done that in light of the losing trade. But we'll see. The yen is still, I'm not 100% convinced of my analysis on the yen. I do have a short Aussie yen trade on with a stop and break even. So we'll see. It's currently in the money. The stop's at break even. And I need to take half off for a small profit on the Aussie yen position. But I don't really want to take on any new risk with the yen at this time. Maybe if we can see a trading range form, that'll give me some more confidence and strengthen confidence in my analysis. Okay, so that's Canada yen. Now time for Aussie pairs. Aussie Canada. Okay, this is interesting. Again, I don't want to enter on a big candle. That's definitely one of my important rules of sorts. However, we are at the top of the range. This is shaping up to be a really nice short opportunity, potentially. I do like the price action here at least. So potentially short at 98.70. I'm not going to do it yet. It's definitely something I'll keep an eye out for tomorrow. Aussie Swiss. They also had that big rally. So basically, Australian dollars seem to rally quite a bit overnight. Let's see if Aussie Swiss can get a little further back. We're now at the 50 moving average. If we can go to 81.42, I would like that quite a bit, and I might feel interest in shorting. Be interested in shorting from that level. Nothing at this time, though. Aussie yen, we're in this, and we looked at that at the beginning. So now it's really a huge day up today, bullish engulfing pattern, right? This candle is engulfed in the preceding one and heading up. But stops at break even, so I'm at least glad there's no risk on the table. Not really going to do anything other than that. Aussie Kiwi. Okay. Now this could be, there's some interest I have in shorting at where we're basically at, which is 109.08. However, this is also, I don't want to short Australian dollar today because it's been rallying hugely. So I want to see, in the ideal scenario, we have a few days of it consolidating in the tight range, and then we head down. If we can see something like that, or some reversal candlesticks appear, I'll probably be shorting Australian dollar later this week. Aussie US. Okay, same idea here. We've now pulled back. We're at the 50 simple moving average, but it's a huge red candle, huge green candle. Excuse me. So I'm definitely not considering entering here. Let's just wait a little bit, possibly just one more day, to see how price action shapes up. Make sure the bulls in the Australian dollar are exhausted, ready to take profits, and the bears are can enter at that point. Okay, so that's the Australian dollar. Let's go to the New Zealand dollar. Okay, yeah, we looked at this in the QE US, and we're in this. I might move myself to break even tomorrow. At this point, though, it is what it is. Just waiting. Position is currently in my favor, which is nice. QE Canada. Oh, okay. So we also have a bullish engulfing pattern here at a 50% Fibonacci retracement level. So that's our first sign of interest. However, I'm not seeing any interest in going long or shorting the Canadian dollar against any other pair. Now, maybe QE is just leading the pack here. However, I'd rather see Euro Canada, Pound Canada, all those are still a little bit further off. So also, we don't have really any other support at this level. So while this bullish engulfing, especially with the long wicks, is nice, I don't really see any other. Let me just zoom out to the weekly, actually. Yeah, I don't really see. I mean, we're kind of in new territory here. We go out to the monthly. Have you ever been in this vicinity? Okay. So at least not from 2009. I mean, yeah, this is clearly, that would have been a great trade there, right? Let's go long QE Canada from 2009. Beautiful price channel there. Okay. So in any event, you have some signs of a bullish setup here. 50% retracement and bullish engulfing candles. However, I really would like to see a support level form before doing anything here. QE Swiss. Okay. Still in the middle of that trading range. Let me move this over. Send this, I should say. Okay. So an argument can be made for shorting at this level. QE Swiss, though, but at the very least, we can immediately, or I would immediately dismiss it because we have a huge green candle. So I really don't want to take a short position now. Perhaps if we can get a trading range, I don't know. This isn't the most reassuring of support levels, in my opinion. So I'm inclined to pass on this overall. But at the very least, we'll revisit tomorrow in our daily session. At the very least, it's not an opportunity for today. Kiwi yen.
Okay, now this is rallying. This is also interesting. So we're now rallying at the 200 exponential moving average, which is also, what is it? Okay, that would be a really nice level, really significant level. I'm still not confident enough in my analysis at the end. I'm not sure if the trend has just reversed on this. Um, and I'm also I'm not trying to consider the fundamentals too much, but in this particular instance, it is weighing on me a little bit. Um, I am very interested in shorting the end because I think that's the truly outstanding opportunity. However, let's see if we can get a trading range form. If we can get a trading range, I mentioned this with the other yen pairs. If we get a trading range form, I might be a little more confident that this is a base and we're going to head higher. Okay, that does it for the New Zealand dollar pairs. We already looked at New Zealand US, which I'm already in on. Now, let's go back to the pairs that we had identified earlier as ones to come back to. One is Euro Pound. Okay. Now, do we want to place an order on this? Short Euro Pound. That would be the setup. Hmm. Let me see. We've surpassed the. We met our 50% Fibonacci requirement. I mean, yeah, this is. I'm looking for reasons to say no, and I don't exactly see one. So I think this is a pretty good opportunity. I will. The one reason to say no is that 83.45, you could enter there as well, and that's kind of close. However, let's say we entered at this one. Let's look at the 4-hour chart real quick. Okay. I'm trying to find the stop level here. So we're entering 83.20. Okay, we have some movement here. It's actually, sometimes I like taking the reverse approach where we look at where we're going to exit. So I would think 81.50 is a reasonable exit target here. The bottom of this channel extended. Okay. Now we're entering 83.20, so that gives us almost, that gives us 170 pips, right? 170 pips. And yeah, I think I can put my stop at 83.63. Basically, we don't want to put the stop right here. That's a resistance level also. And 83.63. Okay, so this is the short. Let's make the colors right. We'll make this one red. And we'll make this one green. Okay. Short 83.20, target 81.47, stop loss at 83.63. That's basically the setup here. Let's see if the order gets filled. Now let's look at Euro US dollar. Okay. Now this is the Okay, so let's just keep this in mind. I think right away we're below the 50 simple moving average. We have a little bit of a pattern of higher lows in place. Let's see if we see the same thing on pound dollar. Okay, so this is a much clearer analysis. We're also closer to 50 simple moving average, and I'm also glad because I'm shorting euro pound is an implicit long pound. So this is supporting that. I definitely don't want more than two currency pairs where the stop isn't a break even or long in the same currency. Don't want to be long pound again, basically, until I can move one of these positions to break even or if I get stopped out. But definitely an opportunity here. I like this a lot. This is a really clean, simple setup. Target is, easily be here, which that gives us a 340 pips basically, targeting 66, and we can put our stop. I know where the stop's going to go. Right here. Make that green, or red, excuse me. Okay, so that's 120 pips, right? No. Oh, 100. Actually, does this give me enough room? Oh yeah, this is 70 pips, 72 pips, and we are risking 72, gaining or targeting 340. So that's almost 4.5 to 1, a little more than that. That's a nice setup. Okay, so there we go. Two orders taking place today. Short euro pound, long pound dollar. I'll have all of this documented on my blog on InformedTrades.com. And any questions you have, anything you want to add, you can join us at InformedTrades.com. Thanks and best of luck in your trading.